You keep losing close range gunfights that you simply shouldn't be losing. And this is most likely because you haven't mastered the art of the hipfire. The good news is we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna give you 3 drills that, if implemented correctly, are gonna help you start winning more close range gunfights as soon as today. Let's get into it. There are 3 main issues that you guys are all making in your close quarter gunfights, and all 3 of them have to do with being in the ADS, or aim down sight. The first one is your ADS tracking, the second one is your ADS shot speed, and your third one is your ADS movement speed. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about these 3 problems so that we can address them and fix them with the 3 drills I have for you later in this video. Problem number 1 is ADS tracking, and what I mean by that is you're coming up to a close quarter engagement and you're tracking your enemy in the ADS. This oftentimes leads to what we call cameraing, or somebody breaking your camera. Let's say an enemy is right in front of you and they slide right by you. If I'm in the ADS, look how slow it takes to track the enemy sliding by me. Compared to when I'm in the hip, it is much easier. And that difference between the actual speed or sensitivity between your ADS and your hip fire is the main reason why this is a problem for you guys in close quarter engagements. And it's a main reason why you guys are getting cameraed in the game. All right, let's talk about problem number 2, which is ADS shot speed. And what I mean by shot speed is the time it takes between your decision in your brain to shoot the gun to when bullets actually start firing. Okay, and I know this sounds funky, but bear with me for a second. We all have an ADS time. Every gun has an ADS time, right? That's why we put attachments on our guns to improve our ADS to save us a few milliseconds, right? We all have an ADS time with our guns, but it still takes time. Compared to the hip fire, when I press the right trigger, my gun fires instantly. There is no ADS time. In those few milliseconds, I know it's just milliseconds, but those few milliseconds are really the difference in your guys' gunfights. A lot of you guys are coming around the corner, ADSing and then shooting. Obviously, I'm exaggerating this feeling. Compared to coming around the corner, out the hip, which is instant, your bullets start flying out your gun a lot faster. And like I said, we're talking milliseconds, but these milliseconds are the exact reason, this ADS shot time is the exact reason why a lot of you guys are losing your close quarter gunfights. Now, before I get the comments on it, Mark, you never ADS in close quarter gunfights. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting these first shots off quicker than if you were to ADS and shoot. And when we're talking like 7 meters, if there's an enemy over here, then yes, I'm going to start shooting out the hip first. And we're talking like milliseconds. I'm using my right trigger first. We talked about this on one of the more popular videos on our channel, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. We talked about right trigger before left trigger, right? And if they're about 7 meters away, yes, I'm going to shoot out the hip and then ADS. But if we're talking real close quarter gunfights, like 3-4 meters away, I am staying in the hip fire mainly because of problem number 3, which is your ADS movement speed. So yes, problem number 3, ADS movement speed. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. If I'm just strafe back and forth between these doorways, look how slow I am compared to if I were to do it from the hip, much faster. Same thing with challenging enemies. You're going to be a much harder target to hit while shooting from the hip compared to if I flew in here in the ADS. I'm just simply going to be too easy of a target to hit for my opponents. Now, a perfect way to actually demonstrate this is to shoot while in the ADS and run as far as we can forward with 1 mag. I think I have 50 rounds in here. Boom. I got like right to this crack right here. Now let's go ahead and do this again with 1 mag, but this time we're going to shoot from the hip. Let's see how far we get. And boom. We got all the way to the middle of this archway compared to we were way back here. So like I said, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Shoot from the hip to be a harder target to hit in these close quarter engagements. All right, we just talked about the 3 problems. Let me go ahead and give you my 3 favorite drills to develop your hip fire skills. The first one, we're going to call this the centering strafe, okay? And all you're going to do is you're going to hop into the firing range, turn your aim assist off, go to your settings, controller, aiming tab, and then turn your aim assist off, okay? Once you've done that, select a pistol. It's going to be one of the faster strafing weapons in the game. You're going to put your center dot on the first target here, and all you're going to do is strafe to the left and then strafe to the right. And you're going to try to keep this center dot as best as you can on your target, on his chest ideally. You're just going to strafe left, and you're going to strafe right. Now, if this is too difficult for you, go ahead and switch to an LMG, which is going to be a little bit slower, which is totally fine at start. We don't have aim assist on, so it's going to be difficult for some of you guys, and it's going to move a little bit slower. Once you feel comfortable, you're going to switch back to the pistol. You're going to mix in a couple direction changes, okay? Let's say you've done this for 1 to 2 minutes, just going back and forth, left and right. Then you're going to mix in some direction changes. I'm just going to go left and right, and then go all the way back to the left. And same thing here, mixing some direction changes, try to keep that center dot as centered on their chest as possible. Now, what we're working on here, we already talked about the ADS movement speed and how it's super slow in close quarter gunfights. We're working on our hip fire aim, and just because you're aiming out the hip fire doesn't mean it's gonna track or aim for you. You still have to track your enemy out the hip. So this is one of the best drills and very simple drills that you can do in between loading games or just to start your day for 1 to 3 minutes a day. That's gonna help you work on this tracking out the hip. All right, drill number 2 is probably my favorite drill for this, and this is what I call the jam drill. Okay, you're gonna go into multiplayer, you're gonna go to find a match, private match, create a private match. Wait a second for this to load. This is by far my favorite drill to rep here, and I actually do this with my warm-up routine, which we talked about last video, so make sure you guys check that out if you haven't already. Go ahead and select a map. I go all the way to the left over here to Babylon, go to custom game rules, turn it to, let's say 15 minutes for now. You can change the start time down to 5 seconds if you want. Player, you're gonna go to 150 health regen to fast. You're gonna tab over one more time. You're gonna turn the kill cam off. You're gonna go to minimap, yes, radar always on, and we're gonna put this on directional. Okay, once you have that set, you're pretty much good to go. Make sure you guys have your SMG ready that you're gonna use in Warzone that day. Go to team 2 here. You're gonna put on only 2 bots this time, leave them on recruit, confirm, and then go ahead and start the game. All right, here we go, the jam drill. And I love this drill so much because you are doing exactly that. You are jamming yourself against the enemy. In other words, you're slide canceling and bumping into them. It's gonna feel super weird, super clunky, but all I'm gonna do is run up to my opponent, slide cancel, like bump them almost, and then shoot them from the hip. And most of the time when I'm hitting that slide, I will actually want to be shooting, okay? Just like we practice RT before LT, this is a great way to train that mechanic right there and get the right, actually, movement patterns down, right? So I'm just gonna run up to my enemy, bump them, and shoot them from the hip, right? Like we talked about. A lot better movement from the hip. So if I'm to bump this guy right here, I can strafe left and right much better than where if I bumped him, I'm not really going to be able to move. I'm stuck in the mud from the ADS. So once again, the jam drill, you're bumping your enemies right here. And you're like, Mark, that feels so clunky, feels so awkward. Why are we doing this? Because these are the exact gunfights that you get into in game that you guys are losing, right? You guys get in this close quarter engagement and you end up losing these fights because you're not shooting from the hip. You're getting cameraed. You're trying to ADS your enemy from so close. The point is, a lot of your enemies in game, in a real life scenario, they're going to jam you. They're going to catch you off guard, coming around a corner, and then you guys don't win those gunfights because your first instinct is like locate them and like try to aim at them. Now here, we are practicing the movement pattern of just hip firing, right? Oh no, I got jammed. That's fine. I'm going to use my strafing abilities to track my enemy, which we just practiced in the last drill, which is tracking, right? Now that you turn this aim assist back on after that tracking drill, hopefully you guys did. Don't forget to turn your aim assist back on. It's going to feel very easy to kill these guys. You're going to bump into them, strafe. You're just going to bump right by them, strafe. Your whole goal here is just to not ADS, track from the hip fire, and really focus on that part of it too. You want to focus on keeping the center dot on them the whole time. I want you to focus on keeping your shots on them the whole time, right? Even while you're in the hip. Bump him, make it super awkward, get behind them, and just shoot them from the hip, right? That's all I'm doing. Once again, sliding, bumping, jamming myself, getting super awkward because these are exact gunfights that you guys are losing in game. But if you shoot 100 of these bots and then you go into an actual game, you're going to feel so confident shooting up close. And once again, the reason we're shooting from the hip is to get shots off faster, right? If I'm to slide into this guy and shoot my hip fire shots, like these guys are dying extremely fast. If I took the time to ADS, I'm a much easier target to hit and the bullets aren't coming out quite as fast. All right, there is the jam drill. And now drill number 3 in the same lobby, you can shoot 50 bots like that using the jam drill. And then your second 50, you're gonna do drill number 3, which is the smokes, okay? So all you're gonna do is you're gonna smoke your enemy, right? Make sure you guys have scavenger and these, field upgrades right here so you can just replenish your smokes all the time. You're gonna smoke your enemy and then work on your tracking from the hip. So now all this is doing, if you guys recognize this, maybe some of you guys caught on to this, right? I'm smoking my enemy, I'm getting into smoke, and I'm shooting them from the hip. That's all I'm doing over and over and over, using scavenger to resupply my smokes off these guys. Smoking. Once I smoked, get in the smoke or the edge of the smoke, and tracking them from the hip, getting the kills. And if some of you guys noticed, drill number 1 and 2 are this exact drill. And what we practiced in drill number 1 was killing an enemy without aim assist, right? Or tracking an enemy without aim assist, rather. Drill number 2 was getting up in personal and actually shooting an enemy from the hip. And now drill number 3 is those combined. You don't have aim assist in smokes, for those of you guys that don't know that. So we are tracking these enemies from the hip now in the smoke. We're working on our aim without aim assist. And we're also working on our tight hip fire shots. That's all we're doing. Throwing a smoke down, waiting for the enemy to get in the smoke. You're tracking them from the hip. As you can see, I've done this drill a number of times. I do this, both of those things. I do the jam drill and these smokes while I'm warming up. If you guys watched that last warm-up video, this pairs so perfectly with this. But I do these all the time. I literally throw smokes, because guess what happens? As you guys can see, my hip fire tracking, even without aim assist, is going to be pretty decent because like I said, I've repped it a lot. But what happens is it gives you a different level of confidence. When you get into a game and you get into a hairy situation, you have to throw smokes down. You're inviting these enemies in here because you have practiced this. If I killed 50 bots in the smoke that day and now I go into a game, I'm going to feel a lot more confident. So, you know, if I didn't, I'm going to throw these smokes down, work on this hip fire tracking, get these kills. And now imagine if you go into a game and you work on both of these skills. You get a knock right here. You get one shot, so you smoke yourself. You start plating up, then another guy pushes you and you kill them in the smoke. Like, bro, oh my gosh, this airplane is so loud. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that, but that's the point. Throw the smokes. That's drill number 3. Incorporate all 3 of these things, and you guys are gonna be some hip fire demons. And there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you guys hip fire more. Also, leave me a comment down below if you guys have any questions, or check out our live stream, kick.com/MarkClarkk. We'd love to have you guys over there. Ask me any questions. Hang out with our awesome community. We're live there every single night. We're going to be pushing for top 250 this next season, which drops probably today if you're seeing this video. Hope you guys join us on the live stream. And until next time, make sure you guys check out this video right here.